Good morning, Stig here. I thought I'd show you this week my Persian army that I've collected over the last few years to take on my Spartans and my allied Greeks that I showed you last week. Again, these are all Xyston figures collected over the last few years. And this army is quite a lot bigger than the Greek army, and it's got a lot of cavalry in it. Very different type of army, plays very differently, and it was a lot of fun to paint. There's a lot of different uniforms, different colours and things like that in there. So what I've got is it split into 3 separate commands. So on this side here, I've got an infantry command, and I've got the main cavalry command under Darius himself, and then I've got an allied command over there, which are actually Cappadocians from the DBA Cappadocian box set, just with a few additions chucked in there, and I managed to build a complete command out of it. What we'll do is we'll start with the central command, which is the main cavalry command then. There we are. Okay, so in the front there we've got 2 units of Bactrian light cavalry, and these guys are armed with bows and javelins. I'll just show you one quickly. There we are. Again, Xyston figures. Really like the horses, I said that in the last video. With a few of these, especially the grey one to the front there, tried to spend a little bit of extra time, try and get the horses right. Generally don't really enjoy painting horses that much, but these are nice models, so I tried to put a little bit more effort in. Really like the sort of pyjamas these guys are wearing. They've all got like little spots on them and stuff like that. Yeah, so Bactrian light cavalry. And the other unit's pretty much the same. And I'll move on to Darius himself. So in the game, in Impetus, this is a unit of guard heavy cavalry, but because I've attached a general to it, it's just basically Darius and his chariot and a couple of cavalrymen, like his little immediate bodyguards. Okay, so there's Darius stood there in his chariot. I actually spent a lot of time on Darius painting his trousers, all little checked pattern and stuff, and then once I put him in the chariot, you can't even see it. It's kind of a waste of time, but I know it's there, it's alright. Yeah, a couple of guard cavalrymen there. It's a nice big chunky hefty model. The Xyston chariots, really nice figures. There we go. And then behind them, what we've got is 2 units of Persian national cavalry. These are just your kind of bog standard cavalry. I've maybe painted them a little bit too uniformed, but I went off a couple of images I found in one of the Osprey books, and just painted them like that. Yeah, so it's the Persian national cavalry guys. 6 figures to a base. And the other unit's the same. And then at the rear there, we've got some colonist cavalry. I tried to paint these slightly more muted tones that come from the provinces. Again, they're quite uniform though. I like them because they've all got the shields on the backs, which brightens them up. Shields again are all little big man shield transfers. Quite fiddly at first putting those transfers on, but when you get used to it, they're actually not too bad. And I really like how they turn out and really brighten them up. Yeah, colonist cavalry. Okay, so that's the first command done. What we'll move on to now is the go for the infantry. So look at the infantry. Late camera. Okay, so in the front there we've got 2 units of skirmishers, one with slings, one with bows. I'll just quickly show you the slingers. The bowmen have painted the same. I put 3 on the base because these were all originally from the DBA army packs, so you only get 3 in the box. So I just put 3 on. And again, the bowmen are the same anyway. These guys here are Egyptian Marines. Really like these shields. These shields are all hand painted. I think this is the only unit I did hand paint the shields. The rest of them are all transfers. Yeah, I like these big shields I've got. in Impetus, these are like light infantry, but in other rule sets they're classed as a type of hoplites. So I'm not quite sure how they were used historically. I kind of like them on a slightly bigger base in an open order. Yeah. Egyptian Marines. Then we've got 2 units of. Put them back. 2 units of Takabara at the back. I'll just show you one of them. These are like the light infantry skirmishers. Again, little big man shield transfers on them. The other unit's the same. Yeah. Kind of quite useful. The same as Greek peltas really. They're good for supporting the cavalry and just harassing a little bit of a distance with the javelins and things. Quite useful troops. Good in rough terrain and stuff like that as well. Then we've got another unit of the same, and then this unit here is my general for the foot division. So these are guard infantry, and there's obviously an attached general stuck on the base there. I've tried to show like 2 separate units of guard infantry being led forward by the general kind of thing just on a small base. I think it kind of turned out alright. I really like the shields on these guys. Yeah, the shield transfers are really good. Let's show you the back of them. There you go. Okay, and then behind those there's 3 units of archers who are quite a late addition to the army. I painted most of them already, and then reading through the Hail Caesar list, a lot of the infantry is just archers, so I thought I'd best get some archers, and the bases aren't quite the same because I couldn't get it right, because it was a couple of years in between painting them, so it's just a big mix of archers. There's no attempt to uniform them, they're all different. I kind of just levy archers, I think. Yeah, useful anyway. Good for trying to soften up the hoplites as they're moving towards them, I suppose. But obviously they won't stand very long as hoplites make contact with them. And at the back there, we've got a scythe chariot. I always attach this to the infantry and I just unleash it as soon as I can. It's a bit of a one-shot weapon. Charges in, generally doesn't do very much. Maybe causes a bit of disruption on the enemy line, and that's about it. Yeah, nice model anyway. The armoured lunatic stood on the back. So we'll charge that towards the enemy, jump out, let it crash into the enemy line, and then try and run back to his own troops. Yeah. Pretty good model though, I like it. Okay, so that's all the infantry. And then what I've also got is the Cappadocians. So spin them across. So Cappadocia is an area that's now modern day Turkey, and it was part of the Persian Empire. And yeah, so I thought I'd just attach it to my Persian army and use it as allies. So the first thing I've got is my Cappadocian general. These are like guard heavy cavalry, all big armoured horses. Yeah, there's a general there. And this little standard bearer, big heavy cavalry. Pretty good for smashing into the flanks and things like that. Yeah, useful. Then behind them we've got another unit of cavalry. These are just medium cavalry. Pretty much the same, just haven't got the armoured horses and stuff. Again, pretty good cavalry. We've got some light cavalry. Bit of light cavalry there. And then a few units of infantry. So, infantry wise, what we've got is the unit skirmishers with bows. I do like the Cappadocian troops. They've got this weird headdress they wore, like a kind of kind of like a cap kind of thing. Don't even know what it's called, I can't remember. They've all got these cloaks and stuff on, like mountain type tribesmen. And then 2 units of light infantry. I just use these in the rules as more takabara, the same as the Persian light infantry. But I suppose you could block them together, both bases together, into one big unit of like a mob of tribal footmen or something like that. It's interesting that how different rules interpret different armies. So thinking in something like Hail Caesar, there'd just be a big mob, but in Impetus that you could use them as something completely different. You know that the basing would be different, but you know I'm quite happy with the basing. There's no way I'm changing these ones. Yeah, there's another unit of those behind. So that is pretty much my Persian army that I've collected for Impetus over the last few years. What I'll do is I'll try and been thinking about what I'm going to do with these videos. I'll next week I'll try and I'll work my way through the ages, as it were. So next week I'll do my Romans and my ancient Britons, then I'll move on to my Crusade stuff, and then onto the Wars of the Roses, and then work my way through all the historical periods that I've already got. That'll probably be the most organised way of doing it, but I might change. I might just do a random one. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle, so thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye bye.